Today on the news and why it matters, Corey Lewandowski testifies in front of Congress. In other words, the circus is in town. Also, is the gun confiscation pitch working for Beto? And Taylor Swift, now obsessed with politics, and she can't wait to tell you all about it. Got a lot coming up, and it starts right now. Welcome to the news and why it matters. I am Sara Gonzalez. Got a really good lineup for you today. We've got Mr. Glenn Beck back with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
And we've got Chad Prather, host of the Chad Prather Show.
I'm well lit. Look at me.
You are. We were tired of the letters saying they could not see the Cowboys' face.
I kind of like the outlaw Josie Wales look. It was very mysterious. You could see from me here down just my teeth.
Yeah. Now we see it all.
There it is.
So you're welcome, everyone.
I'd like to see your bags, Chad.
Yeah.
We really like for them to be illuminated for everyone.
And Graham Allen.
Yes, I'm here too. Hi, everybody.
From the Dear America podcast.
Yes.
Going to be a good show. First, we want to thank our sponsor, iTarget Pro. So, Graham, you are a veteran. We always talk about how important dry firing is. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yes, it is our right to the Second Amendment, but it's our priority to train. Is the whole point. No, our iTarget Pro, is cool. It's really cool. You get to save a lot of ammo. Practice your, trigger squeeze, all that kind of stuff. It's a cool thing.
Are you one of the Beto people that talked to Beto and said he was going to turn in the gun?
No, I told him, no, you won't. That's what I said to Beto.
Yeah.
I was the guy that was like, come and take it.
Yeah.
Beto.
You were the guy who said, I've got a place I could put this gun.
Yeah. Chad was the guy who was like, what gun? What gun? I had a boating accident. What gun?
It's amazing how many people have believed me on that. You know, the old boating accident thing. People are like, really? You should go get those.
But in all seriousness, iTarget Pro, as Graham pointed out, it pays for itself when you talk about the how much it costs for ammunition, how much it costs to go to the range, just to practice, just to train. You don't have to do that. You can use iTarget Pro. They've got a laser bullet that you put in your gun, and it's got all the specific calibers that you can then put in your gun. Download the app, shoot, track how good you are or how bad you are, depending on how much you practice. And you can do it all within the comfort of your own home. You can go to iTarget Pro, go there now and use promo code NEWS, and you will get 10% off plus free shipping. That's itargetpro.com, promo code NEWS.
All right, crackhead, put the phone away.
I can't do it. There's real news going on.
Millennial.
There's real stuff happening. Like I was looking at what you mentioned, and that's some incredible stuff. Like, did you know it's National Cheeseburger Day?
No.
I did know that,
National
actually.
Cheeseburger
You did?
I did.
Yes.
Now I'm hungry.
See, NASA used their computers to put a man on the moon.
Yeah.
You're using a stronger force on just your iPhone to find out that it's National Cheeseburger Day.
Did you
Constitution
know
Day right to Cheeseburger Day?
the massage therapist who accused Kevin Spacey has died?
Yep. That's true.
What do you have on the Clintons?
That's what I want to know. Corey Lewandowski, of course, testified before Congress. They wanted to know all about the Mueller report because we haven't heard enough about it already. Glenn, would you say that that's accurate?
I think Corey was the right guy to call. I mean, let's play the clip.
Okay.
This is Jerry Nadler speaking to Corey Lewandowski, who was told by the White House, just answer the questions that are in the Mueller report. And so here's how he handled this.
You met alone in the Oval Office with the president? I said,
Is there a book and page number you can reference me to, please? I don't have a copy of the report in front of me.
volume 2, page 90. But I simply ask you, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19th, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the president?
Could you read the exact language of the report, sir? I don't have it available to me.
I don't think I need to do that, and I have limited time. Did you meet alone with the president on that date?
Congressman, I'd like you to refresh my memory by providing a copy of the report so I can follow along.
You don't have a copy with you?
I don't have a copy of the report, Congressman.
Look at that face.
Mr. Chairman, I request that the clock be stopped while this charade is sorted out.
This charade.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Which charade?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the Donald Trump punks that they must have been doing business deal? They were like, you go in and say this.
I'm sorry, Congressman, what page was it?
The clock should have been stopped and should remain stopped. Page 90, volume 2.
Watch
Okay, and which paragraph, sir?
I don't have it in front of me.
I'd like a reference, sir, so I can follow along on what you're asking.
Do you not have an independent recollection of whether you met with the president on that date?
Congressman, I'm just trying to find in the Mueller report where it states that.
Well, you have it in front of you. I gave you the page number.
Okay, where on page 90 is it, sir?
Mr. Chairman, you got to start the clock.
No, I don't have to start the clock when he's filibustering.
Don't you tell me.
Bottom of page 90.
Filibustering is a different
Bottom of
issue. That's
page-
across the hall in the
bottom of
Senate.
pa-
This is actual questions being done now.
Mr. Chairman, point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
That's not
The
an
gentleman will state his point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate for a witness to refuse to answer a question and instead demand that we reference and point him to the, I'd ask that Mueller report be closed and the witness be directed to answer the
No,
question.
well, the answer is not appropriate, but it's on the bottom 2 lines of that page.
Now it can start. The clock can start now.
Start the clock.
There's a question.
Point of order. When will the clock start, Mr. Chairman?
Once the question's asked, Mr. Chairman, the clock should
Right
start.
under overview, 2nd line.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman, the
Point of order.
witness has the time and will
Point of
answer.
order is a
Question, the
point
witness
of
will
order
answer the
overrides
question.
that. A point of order overrides that, Mr. Chairman, and you know that.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Point of order is once the question has been asked in reference properly to the witness to answer the question, the clock should start. It cannot be held while you and your counsel go over notes.
The gentleman is
gentleman's
correct. The clock will start.
Look at,
And the witness will answer the question without further delay.
I'm trying to find it.
Yes, I see that in the report.
Okay.
Thank you. During that meeting, did you tell the special counsel that the president, quote, asked you to deliver a message to Sessions, who was then the Attorney General of the United States? Page 91.
Okay. All right. So this goes on and on and on and on. And it's funny.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious. Here's the thing. I remember during the Obama administration, we had congressmen questioning things, and I had it dead to rights. And I started challenging them. Call me up. Call me. Call me. You know you want to call me. And so they threatened, we will call you. You will testify in front of Congress. And I was living large. I was thinking, you bet. I can't wait. Until my attorney called and said, are you out of your mind? And I said, what? This is going to be great. I have all the facts. They said, Glenn, this is a stage show. And they can put you in jail for any reason they want. You say one thing out of line and they can wrap you up into legal nightmares for the rest of your life. I'm like, I still want to do it. I only tell that story because look at how he has humiliated those people. It is, you know that's an end of something when you can mock it inside. He's mocking Congress inside, and we're all laughing. And it's effective because even the people around, the other people sitting at the dais, they all know this is a joke. That's significant. Never in my life have I seen that attitude happen. Even when, what was his name? Howard Hughes testified, and they were trying to go after him. He was polite and not he embarrassed them, but it wasn't his intent. He had righteous indignation. I won't answer another one of these questions because this whole committee is a fraud. And the American people stood behind him. Same thing with the McCarthy hearings. Senator, is there no shame? It was moral indignation. This is mockery. We've crossed the line.
Isn't it funny that these legislators forget that they are servants of the people? I mean, if you look at Nadler's face, I mean, he is this little Caesar.
He's the king in there.
He's coming in there and
he's
how
disgusted that he even has to listen.
I mean, look at his facial expressions, his body, which there's not a lot of body there. I mean, he's 5'3", 4'11", his pants, and he's lost 100 pounds. Like, can you imagine? I mean, if you go back and look, this guy, wow, where do you put 100 more pounds? on this guy when he's 5'3", and I don't want to make fun of his stature, but he is the epitome of Napoleon.
Yeah.
He is a little man syndrome. And so here's a guy who just can't stand to be questioned. So no better person than Corey Lewandowski, who comes in here and just uses the rules against him. Here's the deal. And I love that Collins next to him is like, hey, man, when we going to start this clock up here in here? You know, I mean, I love that.
Who's starting the clock? My God.
I mean, you got...
Whose job is it to start the clock?
This is a nightmare when it comes to Robert's Rules of Order here. And these guys are just going at it. And Lewandowski just sits there and watches the whole thing unfold. It's a farce. They called it a charade, called it a filibuster, and that's exactly what it was.
They know it's a joke because they even get to bickering back and forth as to what the next thing should do, or a point of order overrides what you're trying to say. It reminds me of that. Did you see that liberal town hall or whatever it was, where point of personal privilege?
Oh, yeah. That was
Graham Allen, he, him.
Socialist
You know,
conference.
yeah, that's it. It reminds me kind of that. We wonder where these people.
Except they were serious.
Yeah, they were really serious, and it just, the whole thing is falling apart beside them because no one really knows exactly how things are supposed to work, or what needs to be said here, or who has power to talk when they need to talk.
And here's the funny thing, the real funny, like the thing that we just brushed right past, the average American has no idea what any of that's about.
No, the average American didn't watch it.
Yeah,
what are they doing? Why are they talking? What are they even talking about?
Yeah.
What is it over? The Mueller report?
See, this is why our system has always been so good. The people didn't have to care about this stuff because they didn't have the power to do this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, now they call people in, and what they're talking about with impeachment, not this impeachment, the other impeachment of Kavanaugh, is so despicable that anyone with any sense of honor and integrity would walk out, and the American people have. They're not paying attention to it.
Yep.
You know, did you hear even Nancy Pelosi said, no, we're not going to talk about impeaching Kavanaugh. That's
the
not
press
the
sure
thing
is.
that we're going,
Lord.
I mean, like when you lose Nancy Pelosi.
Did you see that one of the
bad
people,
look.
the New York Times, is stating can't even remember being assaulted? Oh, I was assaulted. I just don't remember. Like, that's legitimately what they're saying now.
That's not how it works.
But you also know that the only person, because she never remembered it.
Yeah.
The person that reported it, you know who he is? Max
Steyer.
Steyer.
You know his history? Max Steyer was the attorney for Bill Clinton during the impeachment when they were talking about Paula Jones. And what did Paula Jones state? That Bill Clinton dropped his pants and thrust it toward her. Okay? Same story.
There's a pattern.
Now listen to this. So you have Max Steyer there as the president's attorney on that one. Who was the opposing attorney? Ken Starr and Brett Kavanaugh. So you're expecting me to believe that when you were representing the Clintons, you knew that the opposing attorney, because you went to school and you saw it,
What happened?
he did exactly what you're accusing my client of doing, and you dare have. You don't think he would have remembered it at that time? You don't think he would have used it at that time? It's a total and complete farce.
100%. There's no question about it. And then when the people that come out and write this book and they say, well, we put a disclaimer in there, but the editors took it away.
I actually believe that.
Well, they probably did.
Yeah.
And so now they're going, oh, what has happened here? But that whole case, you talk about really putting a round peg in a square hole. I can't even get past the physics and the logistics of this whole story.
No.
That in and of itself is farcical.
Yes.
So what are you laughing at?
We're talking about sexual assault right now, Sarah, and you were over there.
Sexual assault that never happened. Right.
We're talking about mythical sexual assault.
And may I ask you guys just this one question?
Oh gosh, last word.
I just want to know. The problem shouldn't be with Brett Kavanaugh. He was just standing there innocently with his pants down. It was his buddies that pushed him into her hand, apparently, right?
As Party Foul Steve says, you guys just been going to the wrong party.
You guys just going to the wrong one.
Back in a minute.
Steve.
We should have talked about it.
Changes.
Yeah.
Before we get back into the conversation, we want to thank our sponsor, realestateagentsitrust.com. Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome.
It's your company.
You're welcome. Realestateagentsitrust.com. Started because I've never picked a good real estate agent. I don't know why. Maybe because, I don't know.
There's like 10 million of them out
Yeah,
there.
and you don't know who, you're like, this one.
They're aggressive.
You have,
They are. They're aggressive. No, this is the one.
yeah.
they are.
Until you actually sign them, and then they're not so aggressive. You're like, sell my house.
Yeah.
So anyway, we put together something that vets all of these real estate agents and looks for the best one in your area. And if we don't have one in your area, we won't recommend one. It's realestateagentsitrust.com. Free service to you. You want to buy or sell your house, and you want somebody that's going to sell your house? Yeah. Realestateagentsitrust.com.
So you can be the aggressive one.
That's right.
In that one. All right, so, we find ourselves talking about gun confiscation these days, which seems a little bit odd in 2019. We're talking about gun confiscation, but you've got Beto O'Rourke, our good friend Robert Francis, who, of course, in the last debate came out and just said it. He said, I think, what a lot of the candidates are thinking, which is, yeah, I'm going to take your guns. What are you thinking? Of course we're going to take your guns. Mm-hmm. You don't need them. Well, the latest poll numbers have come out since the latest debate, and it turns out the American public may not agree with that sentiment. He was polling at about 8% before the debate, and his latest numbers since are now at 4%.
He is, I predict, within a week, he will be all for guns.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Texas, and I've been talking to people in Texas, and I'm carrying a gun right now. Right now.
Watch me shoot. You know how he keeps doing those, him changing a tire or him pumping gas?
Yes.
He'll have a shooting video coming out of the range. With him trying to do it, he'll put the magazine in backwards or something, trying to get it in there.
I mean, it's a little bit encouraging, right? That's encouraging.
So here's the thing. So, okay. Francis O'Rourke, imagine you're a young gay man. You're off at college. You're coming home for Thanksgiving, and you've gotten all your nerve together that you're going to tell your family over Thanksgiving dinner that you're gay. You're going to
wear that shirt?
Yeah, you're going to come out gays for Trump.
Lay the groundwork
There
over
it is.
there.
Gays for Trump.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that. So you get in there and you're like, okay, now you're eating turkey and you're like so nervous and you're sweating. You're like, I'm going to tell them. Now, your family's known, they know you're gay. They've known that you're gay, but all these years you've been like, I'm not gay. I'm not gay at all. And then your brother goes, hey, dude, you gonna tell them you're gay or what? Tell them, man. I know you've been planning it. This is what Beto did for the Democratic Party right there, because we've all been saying forever, they want your guns. Yeah. And Beto finally just came out like brother and said, hey, man, we're coming to get all your guns. Now the Democratic Party's reeling it back in, going, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. That's not what we want.
Except none of them said that on the stage.
Yeah.
Not one.
Wait, hold on now.
Afterthought is what got real. Francis O'Rourke wants to take guns from Texans. He can't even take votes from a fake Indian.
Donald Trump actually got in on the action. Beto now has a new nickname. It's not just Beto. Trump has to nickname people. It is now Dummy Beto. He said Dummy Beto made it much harder to make a deal. Convinced that many Dems just want to take your guns away, will continue forward. Now, he tweeted this on the same day that there is a new report that the White House and the DOJ have been pitching expanded background checks to GOP lawmakers. And the report is that the law would make changes to the background checks as they relate to, of course, advertised commercial sales and gun shows. So hoping maybe that's the push that he needs to not follow through with that. Graham?
This is the thing that baffles me a lot. You see Kamala Harris, however she wants her name pronounced, they talk about internet sales of firearms. Hear these people talking about, the gun show loopholes. Mm-hmm. I've been to SHOT Show for the past 5 years. I have never been able to buy a gun from SHOT Show. I've never been able to go on Amazon and purchase a weapon and it come to my house.
Get an Amazon Prime?
You can purchase things there. That's why I don't understand these background checks for loopholes of this. You can purchase it there, but then it goes to an FFL licensed dealer of where you live, of which you then have to go pick it up. Mm-hmm. And then they do the background checks and the normal thing that every single other person has to do. So I don't really understand all that, the internet loopholes, the gun show loopholes. What are they talking about?
I don't think they understand what they're talking about.
I've had guns gifted to me. I have purchased guns. I've done it all. It always ends at an FFL.
FFL, exactly.
Always ends.
If you win it at a raffle, you win it at a raffle, all this stuff. Where do you live? Where's the closest FFL dealer?
Yep.
And they send it there.
And you end up in somebody's front office of their house, going, yeah, here's my license, here's my concealed carry. Okay, I'll wait.
Even if you have a concealed carry, they still run it again. Yeah.
They do it. I'm still waiting. I bought a 300 Blackhawk.
Chad's still under
short
investigation
rifle.
for a couple things.
Listen, it takes 8 months for them to be able to say, okay, here's the rifle you bought because it's a short barrel rifle.
Silencers too. Do you know how hard it is to get a silencer? Do you know how
I'm still waiting on 2 of those.
That's
10
what I'm
months.
saying.
I have 2 automatic weapons, fully automatic weapons. I don't even remove them from the safe. I'm so freaked out by the law on this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to take them, when I go travel and I go up to the ranch, I want to take them up to the ranch and shoot. Oh, no. I've got to take and get the license to move them to the ranch. Yeah. Only I can touch them. You touch them, you go to jail, and I may go to jail too. It's insane. People just think that, guns. You could get them at the 7-Eleven with a Slurpee machine. Yeah. One time I was there and a gun got stuck in the Slurpee machine. I'm like, get out of there.
Going to Walmart buying ARs and stuff.
I've got a couple of gun store owners here in the DFW area. One of my friends, my friends that run the DFW gun. Anyway, you go in there and you're like, man, that's a sweet that rifle right there. If you could just put a handle right there, and they're like, yeah, if you want to go to prison for 10 years.
Yeah.
Just putting the handle doesn't change the rifle at all. It's still a semi-automatic, 1 pull, 1 bullet. But if you put that handle right there, it's a felony.
How worried are you, Glenn, that President Trump is going to cave on gun control?
I don't think he will before the election.
Okay.
I think if he's president next time and we have a series of shootings and it just gets worse and worse and worse, I think the president is a guy who has not been a big gun lover by history. And if he has no constituents to worry about, he might be the guy who says, I think this is right, and I know it's going to make a lot of people angry, but, it's the right thing to do, and I think he could go there.
Perfect opportunity to remind people that Donald Trump is not an extreme right-wing person. He's not even a conservative. He's a left-of-center liberal. And people need to remember that. His decisions are moderate. You're going to see that. You've already seen it with the bump stocks. You've seen it with the red flags. And I believe that after this Midland and Odessa shooting, when Texas became a little more lax on some of their stuff, they weren't lax enough. More guns, less crime. Everybody who's responsible should be able to carry a gun wherever you want to carry it.
Well, the guy who was shooting in Midland or Odessa, which was the one where he's in the Walmart?
El Paso.
El Paso. The guy takes Pepsi bottles and is throwing him at the guy, trying to get him to. How much better would it be instead of a Pepsi bottle if he could have reached back? And in Texas, you can reach
the
back
only
and
guy
shoot.
besides the police that was running in to help was an Army, active duty, or National Guard guy that had his weapon with him to run in and go help and try to help. And it's just, it's a mentality. You know that if you have your concealed carry, your firearm, you have a shot to actually go in there and help.
Yeah. All right, back in a minute. Before we head into overtime, would like to remind all of you, or maybe some of you who did not know this, we've got an awesome ball coming up, Mercury One. The organization, Glenn, this is your nonprofit.
Yes.
So there is an M1 ball. We do it every year. And I will be the MC. Of course, Glenn and Tanya are hosting the event. And we just saw in the building a brand new Mercedes-Benz.
Have you seen this?
Oh, I was in it today.
The new one, with the new one with the whole LED
with the
dash.
panel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. We almost drove off with it. But it's available for raffle. They're $100 each. It's unlimited, the amount that you can purchase. And you don't have to be here to win. In fact, Glenn, you said earlier, usually people who are not here.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've ever given the car away to somebody who's been there. And this, by the way, is for the Nazarene Fund and everything else. We'd have one fundraiser a year to pay all the light bills and all administrative costs. That way I can go on the air and say every dollar you give goes right directly to the source. So this is a really important fundraiser for us.
Mercury1.org/M1ball. Go there now. We hope to see you there.
I even got in the